Hey guys, I first heard about Black One Blood Brothers just a few weeks ago, so I headed over to my Steam to check it out. I was drawn in by the thumbnail, the trailer got me really excited, so I added it to my wishlist. And a couple of days ago I had an email that the game had been released, so I got online to try it out. Made by Helios Production, a bit of a legend in the Arma community, the game labels itself as a sandbox tactical shooter inspired by the first Rainbow Six and Ghost Recon. But I'm afraid I didn't have a good experience. I only played an hour, got mad and then refunded it. And the more I found out about the game and the dev, the worse it got. I can't believe I'm already leaving my first negative review. Feels bad, man. But I couldn't sit by and not warn you guys about this one. Don't forget to hit the like button so more people get to see the video. Subscribe for more great tactical content. And don't forget, if you change your mind, you can always unsubscribe later. The first thing I noticed when I loaded up the game is that the user interface is difficult and very basic for the most part. Look at this ugly back arrow, for example. You'll see more ugly menus soon, but I thought, okay, let's give the gameplay a chance. That's all that really matters. First I looked at the customization. There's plenty to do, which is nice. Also a great selection of guns and equipment, but it could be made a lot easier. In places, the graphics and attention to detail are great, and in others, you get dodgy textures, facial hair that looks like someone's made some dodgy fancy dress out of a plastic bag, and others that look like pubes stuck to their face.
It's Majesty's pubes on my face.
What?
Coming out of customization and into the tutorial, it took me almost a minute to realise the game wanted me to tap shift to adjust my walk speed and then hold shift to sprint. Because of this unusual key binding and other things, the movement feels horrible and there's a delay between holding shift and actually starting to sprint. Then I noticed the horrible tearing slash blur thing that my reticle was doing and the poor sound quality of the gunshots. I also didn't like how pressing 2 brought out the secondary and then 2 again to change it back. I'm so used to almost every game in existence using 1 to go back to your primary weapon. There are some cool stances and ways to hold your gun on top of the usual peaks, etc. that you can really fine tune your tactical play, which was a nice touch. The night vision in the game is pretty neat, probably one of the best I've seen. Although looking down the night vision scope, you can see the night vision also spews out the side. Controlling the dog was pretty cool too. I carried on with a long and often confusing tutorial until I got to the battle plan. I was told to press buttons 0, 1, 2 and so on to display the different floors on the map. I sat there for at least 2 minutes hitting all the different number buttons on my keyboard, making sure numlock wasn't on, started playing about with all the other controls and watched the AI go wild before I got fed up and quit the tutorial. I did later realise that there were numbered buttons on the screen for me to click with my mouse. Next I had to do training before I could go on to a mission, which seemed completely pointless. Spawned in with some AI squad members, pressed F on the desk, then moments later enemies started spawning in randomly. It didn't take me long to get bored and leave training. Finally I get to do a mission and I thought the airport looked cool. Picked my enemies, the objective, and there were some nice customization options, although again the UI needs a lot of work. Before the mission starts you get to watch, or luckily skip, an unusual and seemingly pointless cinematic. And you choose where you want your squad to spawn. Oddly all the spawns were quite open and exposed. I thought okay, no problem, the hostiles are probably going to be inside the plane. But no, the AIs were all over the airfield, and within half a second of us being detected, they had executed the hostages and my mission had failed. Frustrated with the whole experience, I shut the game down and started the refund process. And if all of that hadn't been bad enough, I did a bit of research into the game and the developer. Found out they previously released a game called Black Day back in 2017. After 2 years of slow development, they said sorry the progress had been so slow due to having other responsibilities, and then later completely abandoned it due to the current state of the game not allowing him to improve it, with so many issues down to his coding and the core gameplay. And the worst bit, he said sales revenue were too weak to continue. Early access isn't a crowdfunding exercise. You're supposed to actually deliver the game you promise your supporters whilst they help you mold the game. But it was absolutely disgusting to dump a game only to release a newer version of it a little bit later on. There is a saving grace for the dev. A week after he announced Black Day was going to die, and probably after many complaints, he announced that Black One Blood Brothers was going to be free for anybody that had previously purchased Black Day. But at least he's done the right thing by his original supporters. It's not a complete money grab. I honestly can't recommend the game in its current state, even at its relatively low price. I think the concept's great, but it's been really poorly delivered. I don't even think the game's ready for early access, as it's still a pre-alpha game. And on that note, very little seems to have changed since the pre-alpha and the videos that I've seen, other than there's new maps, guns, etc. And based on the developer's history, I'm really worried the game's not going to get finished. Let's hope I'm wrong, and if the game improves enough in the future, perhaps I'll buy it again and give it another go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.